We all know the history of the same old Lions. For 50 plus years, the Detroit Lions have sucked. They were the worst ran organization in all of sports. Every win, we would have the lead in the fourth quarter, and we somehow miraculously blow it in the fourth quarter. And if we did beat a team, we somehow got lucky, and that team was all mad that they lost to the Detroit Lions. They got one stolen from them, and every team could come in here and mark a win when they were facing the Detroit Lions. That was for 50 plus years until 3 or 4 years ago when the Detroit Lions signed Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell as their head coach and their GM. That's when the tides have turned, and that's when the Detroit Lions suddenly became the brand new Lions. And it didn't happen overnight. That first season in 2021, they skunked the roster. They were just trying to see what they had, who they could build the team around. They had a foundation draft. They went 3-3 down the stretch in 2021. They had some momentum going into the next season. Everyone's feeling good. They're trying to build that young core up. In the next season, they start 1-6. It's a little rocky. Everything's going, then boom, the tides have turned. They finished the season 8-2. They started to learn how to win. They made a playoff push, and then in 2023, they went 12-5 and made it to the NFC Championship. So it is no longer the same old Lions. This is now the brand new Lions, because ever since Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell took over this roster, the team has gotten better and better and better. So this is why it's extremely frustrating and it's extremely annoying all off season long when you hear from some fans within our fan base, and you have fans from the Chicago Bears, fans from the Minnesota Vikings, fans from the Green Bay Packers say that this Detroit Lions is the same old Lions. They're not worried about anything. Let's see the Lions put two back-to-back good years in a row. Then we'll start believing in this Detroit Lions team. Good. Please keep saying this team is the same old Lions team, so you could come in and get smacked up by this Detroit Lions team. Now, this Detroit Lions team is completely different from what it has been. So all off season long, when I'm hearing, are you sure that the Detroit Lions are going to be the favorites to win the NFC North this year again? They got the targets on their back. It's going to be a lot harder for them to do it this year. It's the Detroit Lions. That excuse is so lame, and you have not shown that. And you haven't really been paying attention to this Detroit Lions team the last 3 years. It's no longer a Cinderella story. This team is here to stay. And the way Brad Holmes has constructed this roster, it would be crazy unless something catastrophic happens where Jared Goff gets hurt. God forbid that happens. But if that does happen, we got Hendon Hooker. We can go sign somebody to. This roster is that talented. He's constructed this roster like a college roster to where whoever is out, the next man up is going to do their job. It may be a star player that went out, but that next man up is going to do their job, and they're going to get the job done. That's what I like about this Detroit Lions roster. It's so deep, and it's deeper than all these teams within the division. Yes, the teams within the division have some talent on their team, but overall their roster isn't as talented as this Detroit Lions roster. So it's crazy to me when people want to say it should be Packers, Lions, Vikings, Bears instead of Lions, Packers, Vikings, Bears. However, nationally, they have it in the NFC North right now. The Packers aren't close to touching this Detroit Lions team, and they overachieved last year, and so did this Detroit Lions team. That Detroit Lions team last year was only supposed to win one playoff game and win the division. To go all the way to the NFC Championship and have a 17-point lead at halftime and blow it, yes, that's embarrassing, but I'll take that experience that my team got because that gives them the chip on their shoulder to get moving forward, to get back there. This team's full of dogs, and that's what I'm excited about. It's the brand new Lions. This is a brand new era of Detroit Lions football. They've gotten better and better each and every year under Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. So it's crazy to me that people think they're just somehow going to take a nosedive to the ground because it's the Lions organization and they've never been able to handle success. The Packers, yes, you finished the season with some momentum last year, but so did this Detroit Lions team, and they had an incredible offseason. The Lions had one of the worst secondaries last year in all of sports, and guess what Big Daddy Brad Holmes does for us? He revamps that secondary. So good luck throwing for 300 yards against those Minnesota Vikings. That's not happening again. And all you guys you got DeAndre Swift back there. We had DeAndre Swift back there, too. And you guys got Josh Jacobs. You guys got Aaron Jones. We were one of the best run-stopping defense in the league. And guess what? Our secondary just got better. So good luck being able to pass or run the ball on us next year. Yes, these teams are going to be able to score, but they're not going to be able to keep up with our offense because our offense is a juggernaut. I'm expecting us to be a top 5 offense once again, if not the top offense in the league. That's what I'm feeling about this Detroit Lions team. So I've been getting super annoyed all off season long, hearing from the Packers fans, hearing from the Bears fans, hearing from the Vikings fans that it's the Lions. They've had one good year. They act like they've won 12 championships in the last 20 years. That's not how we're acting. We're just saying we're good. And what if, honestly, what has Chicago won since the 80s? What has the Vikings won that we haven't won? And what have the Packers had one of the best quarterbacks of all time, and Aaron Rodgers, and only were able to get one Super Bowl out of that? That's crazy. And they only got one Super Bowl in the last 20 years. So I don't want to hear nothing about the Packers being on top of the world all the time. You're the Green Bay Packers. Yes, you got Lambeau Field. You've won major championships, but what have you won for me recently? And that's my whole take on this. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I was a little fired up in this video because I've been fired up about it all season long. Like the video, comment down below what you guys think, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.